Hey everyone, I'm Bree.
And I'm Erin.
And we are back with episode 3 of Mama Bear, and we couldn't be more excited to be super consistent.
I can't believe we've gotten to episode 3. Look at us with those children last week.
Yes, no, we're rolling.
I'm here to stay with wisdom and warmth. Let's light the way. Together we'll laugh, together we'll share. In this cozy space, it's love and care.
Feeling good about it. And this episode is coming out in January.
So happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. Oh yeah, we did talk about doing streamers and confetti.
Oh yeah, we did not follow through with that.
Happy New Year. You know what? I've taken your advice and I'm going to host a New Year's party also.
I like that. So we do New Year's. We can get into this, but
Yeah.
we do New Year's at my mother-in-law's every year because this started when we all had children.
Yeah.
Because we used to obviously stay out, I don't think I've made it to a midnight in 5 years.
Yeah.
Like the last time I made it to midnight would have been when I was pregnant with my first daughter.
Right.
And I mean, I'm not even certain I made it to midnight that at that point. And so now we do New Year's. So we literally will have all of the kids over at my mother-in-law's.
I love
and yeah, and it was I can't take recognition because my mother-in-law was actually the one that came up with this.
It's such a good idea.
Yeah. And so we bring all of our kids because just with our family, there's the 6 kids. And then we also, some of our friends come with their kids.
Yeah.
And we just watch a YouTube video at whatever time we can collectively gather the wild minions in one spot, and we
Yeah.
do a countdown.
Yeah,
and it's worked really
I love
well.
it. It's such a good idea. We've taken it on ourselves and invited some friends to come out and celebrate New Year's with us because we want to celebrate too. I want to get
Yeah.
dressed up. I want to do the ball drop, but I'm not making it to midnight.
No, and even it's not even the fact that like staying up late is hard.
Yes.
I cannot stay up late for the life of me.
Yeah.
Like we had I know that this is coming out in January. However, we're still living before Christmas time right now.
Yeah, that's a good
So
acknowledgement.
just-
Which I did want to say, your Christmas party was so much fun.
Oh, good.
You're so cute.
Good. So let's acknowledge it is still
It's
before
still
Christmas
before
at this point.
Christmas,
It's like,
yes.
what is it, December 16th today?
Sure.
Something around that line. So this is coming out in January. We're still living in the past.
Yes. So we're
we had
very
a
much Christmas mind, yeah.
And even that, look at how much that's changed over the years. Now it's just like a million kids.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't see that group of people very often. I
Mm-hmm.
see them once a year at your Christmas party, essentially. And each year they get 1 year older, and
I
it's
know.
so amazing to see
busier
them go
and
from little
busier.
babies. One of the babies last year came in a car seat, and she was, about the same
she's
age
walking
as
around
Everest is.
now.
And now she's just running around. She's
And
so
Everest was the littlest
cute.
one this year, and we all were like, just wait till next year. He'll be running around with the big kids.
Yeah. So
That would be so fun.
no, I think you were going to connect your Christmas party to the same idea as your New Year's party, right? Is that where you're going?
Yeah,
with that?
I don't even know where I was going with that at this point. I totally lost my train of thought. But yes, just how everything's changed so much.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. So, we had our Christmas party, and it's just staying up late is very hard. I stayed up till 11:30 that night
That's
because
hard.
there were some stragglers,
I love
and it's not even. It's the getting up in the morning.
Oh, the next day.
Because my kids do not, for the life of me, sleep in.
Yeah.
And they actually did sleep till 6:30 that day,
Wow.
which is
Is that
that's a win for me.
Oh, good for you.
My children get up at 5:30, typically my youngest. My
Yeah.
oldest can sleep till 6:30-ish. But my youngest, Nora, she'll sleep till about 5:30 every single day.
wow?
So in the back of my mind, whenever I'm having any type of
You're
gathering,
I'm up at 5:30.
yes. It just it's eating at me. It's always sitting right there. You have to get up at 5:30. You need to go to bed
Yeah,
because I do
exactly.
I don't like being groggy
Yeah.
and feeling really tired. I feel like I'm not my best self.
Is
and
anyone?
it's already right. And it's already so hard to be a patient parent.
Right.
And then when you're tired on top of that, I just feel
Yeah.
the mom guilt just eats away at me.
Absolutely. But it's once in a while you don't do it often
No.
at all. We were thinking the same thing coming to the party. Everest had missed his nap.
Mm-hmm.
He was so close. We were trying to put him down before we left, and we just couldn't make it happen. So we missed that nap. And on our way there, he missed that nap. So he was extremely
He
exhausted.
was so good though.
He was pretty well behaved. But I'm pretty well behaved. He
was great.
14 months.
I think he's probably very stimulated,
Totally.
right? There was just so much going on
Yeah.
for him because his eyes were just kind of everywhere.
Yeah, but I was feeling guilty as well. Like,
Yeah.
gosh, we shouldn't have stayed out so late. Or because we went from there, Aaron's friend leads like a worship. Well, not leads, but he's in like a worship band.
Okay.
Where they play out in this area every now and then, and they're
Okay.
actually going on a tour.
Oh,
doing this whole
cool.
thing. Anyway, we'd been trying to get out to his concert. I
Okay,
guess.
like a performance, yeah.
Performance, like for some time.
Yeah.
And last night we were on our way home. We're like, gosh, we turn right, we go home. We turn left, we go there. Like, what are we going to do? It's
you're
the
like-
same distance. They're pretty close. It's like, okay, let's do it. Let's do it. And I'm so glad we went too. But again, Everest is exhausted. We didn't stay very long. It was incredible. But yeah, and then you have the guilt, like, gosh,
I know. The
Everest
mom
is
guilt
tired.
is
I shouldn't have stayed out
hard.
that late, But anyway, it is what it is. We rarely do those things, and you just have to try to stay present, be in the moment while you do it.
I would love to get into mom guilt one day, not this episode because we have other things we want to talk about, but it is like something that eats away at me literally all of the time.
Yeah.
Like I have mom guilt about literally every decision I make. It's crazy.
So yeah, I guess your Christmas party was so much fun. I was gonna say something about that. Oh yeah, how you decorated was so cute. It was like a little Christmas ball
You know
exploded
what?
everywhere.
I did most of the upstairs. My husband decorates the bar.
No, we didn't.
Typically, yeah, he does. He,
did a
hangs
great
all the
job.
lights. He hangs the garland.
It was awesome.
Yeah, he was very proud of his Christmas setup.
He did a great job.
We did it together, but he did do most of the of the walls and the ceiling and
No,
stuff.
it looked awesome. So I wasn't joking when I said next November, come out. I am married to the Grinch, self-proclaimed. He doesn't enjoy that stuff. He
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
really care for Christmas movies or decorating.
Yeah,
so
we did.
I need
Yeah,
to,
you did mention that. Yeah,
I need to enlist as many people who can get on board and make it merry.
I will
here.
gladly decorate for
You know
Christmas.
what? I need to get some more decorations. But anyways, it's the new year.
The 26th.
The
They'll
26th.
go on sale.
Oh yeah,
Get them for next year.
that's smart.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyways, welcome to let's
Mama Bear.
move into the new year.
Yeah.
The new bear. Let's talk about
Us.
let's talk about these. What did you make me here?
Okay.
Bree has made me a tea. Both of us are very big tea drinkers.
Yeah.
I like coffee sometimes. Bree not so much. I don't think
Not
you
so
really
much.
typically drink
I'm
coffee.
getting there.
Like, do you drink iced coffee?
No.
Like in the summer? I think I drink more iced coffee now. I used to be a huge coffee addict.
Yeah.
And then I had a moment of time where I was unable to drink some coffee. And I kind of took that as like
A sign.
I was like, I need to
is
detox
an
myself because
opportunity,
it
yeah.
almost became to the point where like I was getting headaches from like not drinking my coffee, like the
no.
caffeine headaches.
Yeah, I think I
So-
don't process caffeine the way other people do. Like I'm not really, I'm not really affected by it. Like it doesn't wake me up and it doesn't keep me up.
And you know what? It wasn't even, I don't even drink coffee really for the caffeine. I actually just enjoy the taste of a coffee. Like
I
I
just love the warm drink.
I was going to say, it's a security thing for me.
Holding it?
I call it my security mug.
Yeah.
I love walking around. Even when I was pregnant, I would drink decaf coffee because I just love having a cold or a warm drink in my hand.
Yeah, it's just part
It
of the
makes
routine.
me feel cozy.
Absolutely.
And cozy is my favorite thing to be.
Well, I hope you feel cozy right now.
Always. Anyways, let's
So
talk about this. What is this?
Is my way. Oops. This is my way of forcing you. So this is my swap.
Okay, let's do swaps at the beginning then.
Yeah, I think we
Start
have
with
to do
swaps.
swap.
Yeah, that's fine.
So this is a Bengal spice.
Okay,
Cheers.
cheers.
So try it.
It's honestly delicious.
It tastes like Christmas in a cup.
To me, it tastes like it reminds me of the cinnamon hearts you get at Valentine's Day.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what it tastes like.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah,
It
cinnamon is very
cinnamony.
Christmassy as
Yeah,
well.
it's chai-esque, I guess.
Okay.
You know, like it's sort of.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's called Bengal spice.
Bango spice.
Bangle.
Okay. Bangle.
Oh, so they're saying Bengal.
Okay.
Bengal.
Bengal.
Bengal spice.
Okay.
It's a decaf tea.
Okay.
And I am drinking it because Everest has been a poor little sick boy.
Yes,
He's been
Everest
spitting
has
up
been
so
ill.
much. And I wasn't sure how to fix it, so I'm dropping caffeine.
Okay.
I dropped milk and caffeine and chocolate, so all things good in life. So I'm trying to do like a really bare bones diet and just
Yeah.
like eat really like bland foods and try not to do anything to upset his tummy. I do think he had like a bit of a
I was
gastro
gonna say,
bug.
I do think he may have had a gastro bug of some sort.
But with that being said, like some days are still worse than others. And so it's hard to not ignore, like maybe it is something to do with what I've been eating. So just to help, I guess, expedite the process or, help him feel better quicker. Not only are we trying to act like he has a gastro bug and just take care of him, but also I tried to just go down to eating nothing. So, well, not eating nothing, eating less fun
Very basic,
foods.
yeah.
Yes.
So are you eliminating everything and then slowly re-adding? Is
Right,
that like type?
sorry, that's
kind
what it's
of
called.
the-
Yes, elimination diet.
Okay.
Yeah, so I am for 5 days. I'm going no caffeine, no milk, no chocolate, and no citrus fruits.
Okay, terrible time to do no chocolate before
I
the
know,
holidays, but
oh my
okay,
gosh,
sure.
I know. When I put a charcuterie
And
board out yesterday,
what are
with
you
the
going to
dark
do for your
chocolate.
grapefruit with no citrus?
Okay.
How are we going to do Christmas?
Listen. It's a 5-day elimination diet. It's 5 days. And with that being said, it's not going to be perfect.
No,
I can't
no.
stick to this forever. Like, and
For you, it's not reasonable to
absolutely not.
maintain this forever. No.
No. And it's not meant to be. And I don't know, maybe other people have experienced this as well. I don't know much about it. It's my first time going through it. I don't know if it's going to be just one of these things, or if it's all these things,
Yeah.
or Everest just has a sensitive tummy, or what it's going to be. But I'm going to work. Aaron was like, why don't we just go eggs? Oh, sorry, my husband, Aaron, said, sorry, not eggs. Let's go just no milk.
Yeah, no
no
dairy,
milk,
yeah.
no dairy. And then if that doesn't work, then we'll try something else. I go, or we can just,
Cut out
really
everything, yeah.
just cut everything out, make sure that's what it is, and then after 5 days you can start to reintroduce food.
You
So
add one thing at a time.
yeah. I think if it's going to be anything, it's likely going to be the milk.
So I will say, I actually do know someone that their baby had a
Like
dairy
milk
intolerance.
Oh, or dairy.
And when she was breastfeeding, they were having these issues with her their baby's tummy, and she eliminated the dairy. And this was like, she saw doctors and all of these types of things, because hers was, it was severe. And it was a dairy intolerance. So while she was breastfeeding, she had no dairy. And we actually had her over for Emerson's, I want to say, first birthday. And we were making taco bowls. Have you ever had like the taco bowls where like you crush up the chip bags and then you, I don't
Walking
know.
tacos?
Yeah, something like that, whatever. And anyways, I ended up buying like the Daya dairy-free
for
cheese.
the sour. Oh, they have the sour cream too,
Yeah,
I think.
yes. So I bought the Daya like dairy-free cheese. It was not good. I
Oh,
don't
no.
recommend. I have had
No
like
cheese is
I
good.
have had like dairy-free cheeses that are good.
Yeah.
Do not recommend Daya.
So that is not a swap we're
no,
making.
don't do that.
So my swap is everything. I've swapped everything in my life.
Everything.
Yep. No, just specifically the caffeine drinks
Yeah,
too. Like,
you know what?
yeah.
I do drink decaf tea sometimes
Yeah.
too, though. Even at like work, like I said, it's more for like a warm cozy for me than like
Yeah.
the caffeine.
Yeah, I love my tea in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry. No, it is a bit emotional though, because it is sad. Like I told Aaron last night, like I would happily eat rocks if Everest felt better. Yeah.
No, and that is being a mother.
Yeah.
You would literally do anything in your power just to make your kids comfortable and to make them
Yeah.
happy and healthy.
Like I was telling you this morning, like I seriously think I've lost some weight recently because I have just not been caring for myself as
Yeah.
much.
And
Like
you've been
Everest
so
has
worried.
been sick.
Yeah.
And I just literally don't think about it. Like thank goodness for my husband, because I will just not even think to nourish myself. Like I'll put Everest first always, and until I'm like desperate hungry at the end of the night, I won't even have thought like, oh, I haven't been feeding myself today.
Yeah.
Like thank goodness he works from home too, so he
Yeah.
can like make some meals through the day, because while Everest has been sick, like I have not made a single meal.
You know what? And you're really bringing me back. Like these are things that like kind of, you forget things.
Yeah.
Like you forget what happened in the
I
beginning.
read something about like your brain just shuts off the parts that are hard.
And that's like, so I had Emerson during COVID, very first, like I had her 10 days later, we went into our first lockdown. It was a really hard time to become a new mother, but you talking about how stressed you've been with Everest being sick
Yeah.
is bringing me back to, I remember specifically this one time, and I totally forgot about this, but, we of course we weren't really seeing anyone, like no one was. We were in our house. Like I spent a lot of days, just me and Emerson. And that was both difficult, and I'm thankful for it because
Yeah.
I got to spend so much uninterrupted. Uninterrupted.
Are you still
I can't. say it.
uninterrupted?
Thank
And what are you trying to say? Uninterrupted? We are not cutting
I don't
this
know
out.
maybe I do need the caffeine.
Yeah.
Uninterrupted time with Emerson. Oh my gosh. I don't know what happened there.
I'm going to cut that
My
as
brain,
its own.
my brain had a malfunction.
I love it. I love it.
I got to spend so much uninterrupted time with Emerson. But it did cause some like mental health issues surrounding like my anxiety and like her health. There was one specific time that and we hadn't seen anyone, but I was checking her temperature every 15 minutes.
Wow.
And she did not have a fever.
Wow.
But I became so obsessed with
Like
it because I was
transfixed
so
on it.
scared that she was going to get sick and she was
Yeah.
so little. My husband at one point had to confiscate the thermometer,
Wow.
confiscate my daughter, and he said, you need to go take a shower. You need to go do something for yourself for 50. And I'm so thankful for this.
Yeah.
He's like, you need to get away from her. He's like, you're driving yourself crazy.
Yeah.
And he's like, this isn't good for you. This isn't good for her. You need to go
Right.
do something for 15 minutes. So, he took her and I went and I had a shower and I was like, thank you for doing that. That was really important for me.
I totally get it. There's a point where I wasn't doing every 15 minutes, but surely in between, every time he woke up from his naps, I was checking his temperature, and we had a point and shoot thermometer too, and that was driving me nuts.
Yeah,
'cause
you
I'd point
messaged
it,
me about that.
and it would be like, here it would say he has a fever on his temple, but then here, like in the middle of his forehead, said he was fine. Then in between said he has like a low grade fever, and I'm like,
Right.
what
it's
is
hard
right?
with the point and shoot ones because like if anything affects like the surface of their skin
Right.
and makes it hotter or colder, that will
Yeah.
affect. But typically they are like I think the thermometers are pretty accurate.
Right. But then it's like, where's the right spot? Because one time I'll check him and I'll point his temple, and the next time if I'm a centimeter over, it'll
I
read
know my
differently.
thermometer specifically told me to do the middle of their head.
Oh, okay.
Like mine, like the middle of their forehead, I should
Right.
say, not up there. But
Okay.
and now that my kids are older, so my thermometer is the one that you can take the piece off and it turns into an ear thermometer. So typically I'll use the ear thermometer and then I'll do the point and shoot just to back up because I'm a little bit,
Right. Well, we were getting so nervous with him being so sick and not knowing if his temperature reading was
Yeah.
accurate. We called Aaron's sister, who is a
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
midwife, and she drove out here and brought her medical grade. Luckily, she
Oh,
was
that's
off
amazing.
work this
Yeah.
week. She's not on call or anything, so she was able to bring us her medical grade thermometer so that we were just absolutely
That's
sure
perfect.
that his temperature is what it said it was.
Yeah. And he's on the mend. He's getting better.
He's getting better slowly but surely. Yesterday was a bit of a setback. I can't.
Oh, was
I
it?
can't lie. Yeah, he was just. It's terrible, the spit up, and then not knowing if he's like keeping any of the food in or if he's getting dehydrated or even putting him down for bed at night. Like he sleeps most of the night.
Yeah.
But if he happened to wake up earlier, I'm not sure that we can help him just go back to bed without a feeding because I'm not sure that his tummy's full. You know what I mean? So those things that are scary. Like normally it'd be like, okay, go back to bed. You don't need to be fed right now. And now
You're not sure.
Now
yeah.
I'm like, gosh, I can't do that confidently anymore.
I think like as long as he's having those wet and dirty diapers, you
Yeah.
can feel a little bit more at ease that you know that something's going through him, right? And he's
Yeah,
staying
I
hydrated
know.
and
just like
you do the best you can.
Just-
You're doing the best you can. You're doing everything you can.
so
It's really hard to have a
been
sick
really
baby.
scary.
It is scary,
Yeah.
especially like when they're so little. Like it's scary and it's hard because they can't tell you verbally
that's what I was
is
going
wrong.
to say. So I myself am like a big like tough it out guy. I'm like, I don't ever take medication. I don't ever like to be down. Like my husband would say it's one of my worst traits because I'm not super empathetic. If someone gets hurt, I'm like, get over it, like in a nice way. I'm just like not like,
Yeah, you don't say. Remember the huge bruise that took my whole leg up?
okay.
Didn't care about that at all.
Yes, but that is a good example. Like I'm like, get over it in a sense. I guess not. I don't want people to like tough things out, but I more just don't want people, their first reaction to be to grab medication. I think we're like overly medicated as like a society. It's like our first reaction to like, just like, oh, I have a bit of a sore throat, I'm going to take this.
I
Or have a
actually
bit of
don't.
this.
My husband and I don't really take medication
Yeah.
too frequently either, and it
it's
is
a
just
problem.
like I'm personally very sensitive to medication. When I do take it, it upsets my stomach. So
Right.
I try just not to,
Yeah.
and I try to like find alternatives.
Yeah,
like,
I
that
totally
I can
believe
do.
there's a time and a place for medication. I'm not
Absolutely.
anti-medication
Oh
by
no,
any means.
you know I'm not. I
Yeah.
literally work in a hospital, so
No, absolutely. I totally believe in modern medicine. I totally think there's a time and a place for all these things. I just think we can tend sometimes to use it as a Band-Aid and not find the deep-rooted cause of things. So anyways, with Everest or with your child, it's so tricky. Like you were saying, like we don't know. They can't talk to us. I can't tell what's going on with him. And so I don't know how to fix it. And
right.
And for me, I would just go, I'll just tough it out. But for him, I'm like, do I need to give him medicine? What do I need to do? Like, what is the answer? So anyways, we're going to go see a naturopath on Friday. We found one nearby in London.
Oh, nice.
So we're going to go see that, and hopefully they can at least point us in the right direction. Say,
I actually have my own experience with a naturopath, but he's in Kitchener.
Yeah.
That I'll talk about one day on the podcast, but it was a good experience.
No, yeah, we have one too. We would see in Sarnia. I just have not been able to get booked in
Okay.
for him.
Do you have to
Everest.
see a specific one for pediatric? Or
So that's the thing is so this one is specifically for,
okay,
for
good.
children.
That's good.
So anyway.
Here's another little side swap. Speaking of not taking medication,
Yeah.
when I'm starting to, I don't suffer from migraines, so I do not know what that's like, and I would never like recommend this for someone that does because do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But I do get minor headaches sometimes, depending on where I am in my cycle or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Or how much sleep I got, whatever. I have this little sniffing stick.
Okay.
And it's like peppermint essential
okay.
oils.
Yeah.
And you sniff it, and it actually. It helps me with headaches and stuff.
Well, there you go. There's a great swap.
It's great.
Yeah.
I love it. I wasn't planning on that being my swap, but here we are.
Bonus swap.
Little side swap. Yeah.
No, that is good. Yeah. And it's all these little tips and tricks, and we can talk about too when we talk about my labor story, but there's a lot of tips and tricks there for
pain relief.
Yeah. For,
for
some serious pain.
Labor. Labor pain.
But no, yeah. So that's kind of what I've been going through right now, and just trying to get over this hurdle of Everest being sick with the holidays, and
well, you're doing great.
Yeah,
and
thanks,
he's thriving.
He's so cute.
He's doing great. Actually, my dad was like, he's a really cute baby. Aww. And that's not typical. That's not something that comes from my dad very frequently. He's he's a cute little guy. I'm like, he is very cute.
He is half me.
And he's happy.
Yeah, no,
he's
a
happy
sweet
for
boy.
the most part. He's very happy. Yeah.
Very calm, sweet boy. So let's all hope that Everest feels better and we figure this
I'll
one out.
send him our best wishes.
Yes, thanks, girl.
All right. Well, should we talk about maybe, since it is the new year, I was wondering, are you someone that does resolutions?
Big time.
Are you?
Big time.
Okay, see, I don't think that I per se take part in resolutions. I do believe in I think it's more of I have a fresh start mentality.
Sure.
And I don't know if that's only because partly because it's after the holidays where you've done treats and you've been traveling and you're super out of routine and it's great, but I think it's more for me it's post holidays and now I'm okay, now it's time to get myself and my family back into some sort of routine.
Right.
Kind of cut back on all of the treats we've been eating and just start anew.
Yeah.
So I think that's
baby.
more what it's more for me than an actual resolution.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever really been a resolution type person.
Yeah. I guess I'm a very goal centered person and very I guess what's the word for it? I was gonna say very green in that way. We did this color quiz in Aaron's family.
Okay.
They take this quiz where it's your personality and it's based on blue, green, orange.
Oh, I would love to know mine.
What's the other one? Anyway, you can figure out what your personality is.
Yeah,
So
I like stuff like
oftentimes
that.
they'll refer to people as their color.
Okay.
So that would be I think a very green thing that I do is which is very analytical.
Okay.
Is even on every year for mine and Aaron's birthday, I have a running note that I sit down with him. I'm okay, you just turned 30. What are your goals for 31? Or,
that's great.
And then every year on his 31st birthday, I'll look back and be these were your goals. Did you achieve them? Yeah.
This is your performance review.
Okay. I am such, I've always been coached my whole life, playing
You
sports.
have, yes, you played. We haven't really talked about that, that you played competitive basketball your entire life.
And so I need a coach in life. And I like that coaching element. So I kind of look at it that way.
I think you would have been a great life coach as an alternative career.
I really thrive with things like that. So with the new year, I totally go pen to paper or in my notes.
And that's not to say that I do have goals. I do.
No.
I have intentional goals that I want to set for myself, but it's just not my resolution this year is to,
to drop this or
right,
to do this.
Exactly.
Yeah, I guess mine's not really that either. In past, it has been sometimes when I needed a total restart to something. But yeah, it's typically what you're saying. Okay, I'm going to try to do this more.
Okay,
or
so tell me about them. What are some of your goals for 2025?
Oh boy. Well, this year, I think honestly, I haven't set them yet, if I'm going to be honest.
You're a new mom this year, so
that's what I was just going to say.
Different.
It's a little bit different because a lot of what I need isn't what I would typically say I need. So, for example, I probably need to be more gentle with myself. Things like that. More like characteristics, like not to have such bad mom guilt and just know I'm doing okay. So it's more those like soft skills type things rather than I need to hit the gym every day. With that being said, though, Aaron and I are going to be running like a half Ironman like triathlon this summer. I did pitch to him when I was like 8-9 months pregnant that I was going to run an Ironman this year.
Okay.
And I was like,
we're going to cut that down to a half Ironman.
Full steam ahead. And I don't think I quite grasped what was going into that.
Well, I don't think you really understand like motherhood or parenthood until you're in the trenches of it.
Absolutely.
Like you can have like, I feel like before you have kids and even if you see your friends with kids, you're like, oh, you know, I'll still be able to do this, that, and the other thing. And then you actually get into it and you're like, this is a lot more time consuming and a lot more mentally exhausting than I ever anticipated.
And like you said, it's not that I can't do that, but sometimes it's not worth it for your next day.
Right.
Like to ruin your next day.
Absolutely.
So you can go out and stay late at a party.
Absolutely. And there will be people that distree with me, right?
No, for sure. You can do everything.
You can do everything.
It all. But it's
personally
all about
for me that has not worked.
It's like prioritizing.
Yes.
And like if some people work, some people don't work. Some people, you know,
everyone's
are homemakers.
life is so different.
Like everyone wants to be able to do something else differently or do something else better. And some people prioritize that social life part of their motherhood, and that is great and that's very important. But some people it's not as important. Like for me, I'm becoming a mom a little bit later. Like I'm 30. How old are we? 32.
32. Yeah. I
So
wouldn't say that's
not
later,
super late, but like later than you, later than most of my super close friends.
Yes. Yeah.
And so with that being said, I've done a lot of the things I want to do in that sense. I know my friends are there to support me. I'm okay going a little while not seeing them because I know they're still there and I know they're going through their own motherhood
And you
journeys.
know what? That is actually something I was thinking about on the drive over is how important like low maintenance friendships are to me at this point in my life.
We are, I would say.
Yes. We're like we will text
we're like a
each
type
other.
of plant that you don't have to
We're
water
a succulent.
too often. Yeah,
Our friendship is a succulent, which
Beautiful.
I love that for us.
Or cactus.
Or a cactus, yeah. Something that doesn't require a lot of attention.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you'll text me something and I will text you back 3 days later. And
If you can, yeah.
And then 2.5 days later, you'll text me back.
Absolutely.
And it's never
we
like.
have one conversation that lasts a month.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't even know if we're finished it yet. And it's never an issue.
No.
Like no one ever gets mad. No one ever gets upset. It's just like, this is fine.
Yeah.
This is just how it is. And I really appreciate, and I do have a few friends that it's like that, where I can go days, even a month without talking to
Absolutely.
them. And then
And
when
you
I do
pick up like
again, it's
nothing
just like,
happened.
hey, how you been?
Those are the best friends.
Yes. And
But because
I
it's
really
like
appreciate that type of friendship in my life right now,
It's
where
so
I'm
important.
in like the trenches of motherhood.
And I think I remember when you had little ones, you know, kids are still pretty little, but when you were in the deeper trenches, I remember you saying like, I'm not going to be able to make everything, but please still keep inviting me.
Yes.
Like,
because I still,
that hits hard for me right now.
It still felt important to me to know that like, I wasn't just being dropped off as a friend because I had kids,
Right.
but it also like, I wanted you to know I may not be able to attend, but if I can, I want to be there, and please don't give up on me, because I will be able to, the big things, I'll make my hardest attempt to be there.
Absolutely.
You know, so.
Yeah, no. So back to the goals part.
Yes.
Like I'll probably set some sort of goal around that fitness part, but like you were just saying, it's so tough right now with Everest, and when things are good and going really well, it's easy.
I know.
I can work out, life is good, and I'll be able to maintain those goals. But then the other part of the goal about like being softer with yourself is understanding that when it's not going well, if he's going through something that week, that he's my priority, and that's okay too.
Yeah, and it's crazy because you can be like, oh, I got this. Like this is like, you know, we're in a great routine. This is a breeze, and then like one little thing falls off the hit, and then everything's derailed, and and it's just like.
So since birth, Everest has always like slept through the night. Essentially,
he's been a good sleeper.
Such a good sleeper. Like you were just commenting, we have the little monitor here, and Everest can wake up from a nap and just settle himself back down. He can
self-soothe, and he's been able to do that for a long time.
He's
only
3.5 months.
3 months old.
So where was I going with that? Ever snapping, sleeping.
Ever since birth he's been a good sleeper.
Right. So Aaron, my husband, would tell everyone, "Oh, we got this good. Like we did all the work. We take our supplements. We work out. We eat well." And he's like so proud that Everest is such a good sleeper and that like everything's going so well.
Yeah.
And every time he would say it, I'm like knocking on wood, like please, like because I've been through it in the sense that like I have a lot of friends that have kids. I have a lot of nieces and nephews. I know it doesn't take much to change that pendulum.
And they like, go through one little growth spurt and all of a sudden they're
boom, it's totally different. And
totally
I'm
different.
Like painfully aware of that. So every time he'd say it, I'm like, honey, like, maybe let's not brag about this. You never know.
Don't jinx us.
Yeah, don't jinx us. And so sure enough, Everest got, is going through this right now. And it's been incredibly humbling.
Yes.
An incredibly humbling experience. So
I think that's like the best word for parenting.
Humbling.
Incredibly humbling.
incredibly
Hungling.
Oh no.
We should do some like mouth exercise, like before we.
But no, those are I think. And then I think
those are great. And those are
this
great.
podcast I think would be my next thing.
Yes, this like out of like a personal goal. Yes, I think this podcast and like keeping this
being consistent. A couple of things I want to learn and grow with this podcast. Like that's really the sole one
Obviously,
of the sole reasons we're doing it.
We're only gonna get better with time.
Absolutely,
right?
And through the guests we have on, I think we're going to pick up a lot of
which we do have some plans.
Yeah, I'm so excited for that. But putting myself to a schedule in the sense that like, hey, we're going to release 2 a month and stick to that for the whole year. Like that is pretty high in
which
priority
doesn't
for me.
Sound like a very difficult goal. However, when you have 3 kids in the mix,
3 kids,
it's like I work part-time.
We live 45 minutes apart.
Right. We don't live the closest.
Yeah.
You have a newborn baby. I have a daughter that I have to make sure I drop off to school, pick up to school.
Our
My other
window is
daughter
very
naps.
tight.
It's a small
window. We maybe
window.
have 2 days of the week. We can make it happen.
Yeah.
And within those 2 days, we have like a 4 or 5 hour span and we live an hour apart.
Right.
So
and I like, we have to, this is not even mentioning things like we have to make time to like go to the grocery store and this and that. And today, thankfully, my mother-in-law actually took my youngest daughter for me. So that has been a blessing. And, typically I have her here with me.
And she does so good.
She does do really well.
So if you ever see a small little hand reach from the side or a foot, that is Aaron's daughter behaving very well. So do you have any goals for this year? Or?
Yeah, I think along with like your mom guilt type of, I think I want to be more intentionally patient.
Okay.
I'm very good at like trying to communicate with my kids like patiently.
Okay.
So like I'm one of the parents that's kind of like, it's okay to be upset. Like the feeling is okay. The action is not.
That just reminded me of the feelings book.
The feelings book. Oh my gosh. So should I tell that story? Yeah. So my oldest daughter, Emerson, we have this book and I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called Four Furious Flamingos. And, it's by, the author is Kelly Bourne. Okay. She's actually a local, I believe, in Exeter. Cute. I got it from a friend, this book. And it's really cute. This is her second book that she's gifted us, or that my friend has gifted us from this author. The first one's really good too. I'll have to show it to you. But essentially what it is each page has a number and an animal and a feeling. And what you're supposed to do is recognize that feeling, and then your child can tell you about a time that they had that feeling and what they did to feel better. So one of the feelings was 9 nervous narwhals. And I said to my daughter, and she's really good with this book, because we've done it a bunch of times, so I don't even have to like prompt her now. She just knows after we say the feeling, she either will ask me, Mommy, what's that feeling mean? Like, what does that mean? And I'll have to explain it in a better way. And then she'll tell me a time she felt that way. And I'm actually like quite proud of her. She's 4. Almost 5.
She's very aware.
She is very good at identifying her feelings and communicating them to me. And I take a lot of pride in that, honestly, because I've tried my very hardest to instill in my children, feelings are okay. Yeah. It is okay to feel anything. Mm-hmm. Anyways, so the page was 9 nervous narwhals. And I said, when was the time, Emerson, that you felt nervous? And she goes, well, I felt nervous when Everest Daddy was there. which would be Pree's husband, Aaron. And that was it. He was just around, and it made her
He was
feel
just there.
nervous.
We talked about this and we're like, when could that have been? We're
I
like,
don't even
because
know.
she's never been over here since
Because
Everest
she's
has been
usually
born.
in school when
So
we come here.
That's the funny part is
I
not
know.
only, well, we're very new parents, so being referred to as Everest's daddy
Yes.
is so funny for us, for starters. Second, for that must have like been pretty prominent in her mind.
That's something
to
she has
recall,
remembered, yes.
so that she could pinpoint she was at my house because she knows me
Yeah.
primarily.
Yeah.
She was at my house, and then separately, my new son, Everest, that's his daddy. So
Yes.
it's like
And
Everest
he
was even born.
And I said, did something specific make you nervous? She goes,
He
no.
was just there.
Just him being there.
And that
and she
is
is she
hilarious.
is like a timid child.
Right.
But it was
And
just,
I
it was
knew
really
she was
funny.
shy. That I actually remember it. It was like I remember Aaron was there.
Yeah.
Do you remember that day?
I think, was he playing with them or
He
something?
tried a little
He
bit,
was
I
trying
think.
to like do peekaboo or
Yeah.
playing. They were running around doing
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
And I thought she was nervous. I thought it went away with time. But anyway, it's hilarious. I just think it's the funniest.
Yeah,
thing.
and you know what? It may have even been before Everest was born.
That's what I'm saying. It
I
was
think
before Everest was born,
but
'cause we had the
she
birth
still
tub.
calls, like, she still
That's why it's so funny
connects
to
him
me.
as Everest daddy.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why it's hilarious. Because
Yeah.
we didn't even know Everest's name.
Right. Like, we didn't know.
So she wouldn't have known the name.
Right.
So then, so she remembers that day, and then afterwards
connects
now
it with
she-
Everest daddy.
That's what's so
Yeah.
funny about it.
Anyways,
yeah.
it was really cute.
Anyway, yeah.
So I've instilled that in my children, tried to as hard as I can.
Yeah.
But of course, like I am any other human, I am only human, and I
Yeah.
do lose my patience.
Yeah.
And I'm not a yeller by any means. I don't ever really yell at my kids, but I do become stern.
Right.
And I think that that's been more prominent having the second child, because not only do I have two kids now who fight and argue like siblings do, my second child she tests me more.
She's a hurricane
She is a hurricane.
in the most beautiful way.
A beautiful little hurricane. And it is very, my experience with my second daughter has been very different than my experience with my
Yes.
first daughter. And it has really pushed me to my limits sometimes.
Yeah.
But I also like see how well my first daughter communicates, like Emerson, how she communicates. And I want to make sure Nora does that as well.
Right.
So I need to make sure that I am still keeping that patience that I had with her, because I want her to. I don't want to compare her to her sister,
of course
but I
not.
want her to communicate like that, and like I
Yeah.
want to make sure. I don't want her to think like, the losing your patience is what is normal,
Right,
Because I was
right.
never like that with Emerson.
Well, you have to remember, like you did have Emerson at a different time. Like you were saying,
Yes.
it was through the pandemic. So you were
Yes.
alone a lot. You were really isolated. You
Yes.
had that time. But then in that same breath, Nora is a lot of things that Emerson is not, in the sense
Yes.
that like she's not as timid and shy as
No.
Emerson is. So she likely wouldn't have said that.
She
or made her
is
nervous.
stubborn
Yeah.
and she is hard-headed, and
Yeah.
I tell everybody that either she's going to be CEO or I'm going to be picking her up from prison one day.
Absolutely. Yeah. She is so fun and so beautiful. But yeah, you're right. If those are things.
So
that are
I
important to
really
you.
want to try and be more intentional with her and
Yeah.
more patient, like, and one thing I read recently that actually really has stuck with me is it's not about perfection, it's about connection.
Yeah, that's
So
sweet.
yes, and I
Yeah.
really like that. So like, it's not about being the perfect parent. It's
Right.
just about connecting with your children. Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, all they care about is that you were there with them.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
truly.
Yeah.
Like I spent the whole day playing with Emerson yesterday because, and that's another thing I really want to work on. Another goal, I guess, of mine for the new year is sometimes you have to let things fall to the wayside. Like, we did have that Christmas party, so there was a lot of cleaning to do.
Right.
My husband and I got most of it done early in the morning, like 6 a.m. We got up right away, started cleaning everything up because, I can't live in a cluttered place that
Right.
clutters my mind.
Yeah.
So we both started cleaning, but there was still more to do, but I did let it fall to the wayside for a bit so I could play with her.
Right,
Because
right.
she said, "Mommy, play with me."
Yeah.
And it's not a lot that I get to do that anymore because she's in school.
Yeah.
So that's another thing I want to try and prioritize is like,
Those are
letting
good goals.
letting things go, such as like, household chores and stuff
Right,
like that,
right.
to kind of, prioritize that connection with my kids.
Yeah, no, that's important. It's important. I saw something the other day that was like it compared the task and the way we as adults look at it, and then the reflection of like a child, like, I don't know, oh, I have to do bath time. I actually love bath time, but
Yeah.
I have to do bath time. And then the baby looking back at it like, oh my gosh, mommy took a bath with me. You know what
Yes,
I mean?
to them, it's not like a task.
It's not a task,
Yeah.
not a chore. It's this fun thing that they got to do
Right.
with us. Or I saw I got to get groceries and oh, it was so fun being in the cart with mommy while she did groceries or
Right.
something. I don't know.
Right. And
Yeah.
like sometimes, and like I've also seen that sometimes when a child says, will you play with me? It's their way of like saying like, I need that connection.
Right, right.
Do you know? And like,
Of
we're
course.
like, no, I have to do this or I have to do that. And which I do all the time. Like mommy's got to cook dinner. I'm sorry. I can't play with you right now.
Of course.
But it's like, that's your way of your child reaching out to you and being like,
I miss you.
I miss you. Yeah.
I want to spend time with you.
Right.
Yeah, for
and like,
sure.
I remind myself of that. And that's when the mom guilt kicks in. And
Yeah. No, it's important to be like gentle with yourself in those moments so you do the best you can. And like you have a very, very high functioning household. Like you have home cooked meals every night. Like you
for the most part, I mean, there
Well,
are some chicken finger nights.
That's okay though. But like the point is you're all together. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like you're
Yeah.
all together is so like you're doing great.
Thanks, girl.
Yes,
I try.
I do look up to you in a lot of those ways.
I try,
like, parenting.
especially with Emmy being in sports now. It makes
Oh,
it
no.
like, some of those nights it's kind of like things are rushed, and I do like get down on myself for that because I try so hard to make sure my kids have like a well-rounded diet
Yeah.
and like eat well, because I do notice a difference if when they're eating like really, really well, I notice a difference in their mood and their attitude and the
As
way
you
that
would
they
with
act.
like an adult, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I try really hard to like make sure, but
And it's tough, like you said, 80-20.
she skates 3 days a week. She has
Oh
gymnastics.
my gosh,
like it's
that's so impressive.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the thing where parenting like takes a step from like raising a baby, and like there's not much parenting involved. It's like just tasks like, change a diaper,
You're keeping the
feed
human
them.
alive,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're keeping him alive. Essentially, like there's not much raising of personality. Like,
But
like,
it
we're not
starts so
teaching-
young. Like as soon as he
Yeah.
starts like able to, walk around and
For sure. And when does it really kick in? Who knows? Like, I'm
Right.
sure it's
Oh, gosh,
always
yeah.
sort of there.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying it changes, and like the hard changes too. It's like
Yeah.
right now with Everest being sick and not being able to communicate, or, not sleeping fully through the night, like that hard changes into now, like, now you have to be careful what you say.
That's
around
exactly
them,
what
and-
it is.
And are we going to do sports, and how many days a week, and what are we going to prioritize as a family?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I actually feel guilty because I feel like I started extracurriculars a lot earlier with Emerson than I have with Nora.
Oh, okay.
So, and I don't know, it's because Emmy's in so much now. So we did like a lot of like, she was my first child. I was really excited to get her into like extracurriculars.
course.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Like she did dance, she did soccer, she did this, that, and the other thing. And a lot of those things were, swimming. They were parent and taught. So
Right.
you have to do them with them.
Yeah.
And it's either, maybe it's a bit of both. So now with Nora, I've put her in less parent and taught things. And part of it is because Emmy's in, 4 things a week. So
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to find that time. So Nora has done swimming. Like we put her in swimming with Emerson and she loved it. Both my kids love swimming.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can't wait to do that with Everest.
Yeah, it's fun. You can start as early as like
They can hold their
like,
head
you could
up, I
start,
think.
yeah, and you can put them in, and it's
Yeah.
parent and taught.
I'm dying to
So it's
start.
partly because we have so much with Emmy, but then the other part of it is because I've done all these parent and taught things, and I've realized I'm paying to teach my own child.
Yeah.
Like a lot of it is like,
Yeah.
So I am going to put her in like swimming again, and we're going to put her in soccer this year. And those things are parent and taught, but I do want to get her in something because
For
she's
sure.
a very active
Oh,
little
yeah, she'll
girl. Like
excel.
she needs it. Yeah.
She'll do great. I
Yeah,
can't wait to
so-
see, like, flash forward through the years and see, how these little girls turn out.
I know.
So
I know.
sweet.
It is going to be fun watching them grow up together.
Like, what are they going to do? What are they going to be? Who are they going to be?
I know. Well,
It's so
well,
exciting.
if you ask Emerson, she's going to be a veterinarian
Aw.
/ singer.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
love
and I
that.
will say, judging by her first Christmas concert, she's going to need to work on her performance skills because she was real shy.
Aw.
And the little boy next to her, did I show you that video?
You didn't show me, but you
oh my
mentioned it.
goodness, I'll have to show you. He was giving it his all. I was just dying
Wait,
laughing.
we should. Oh, I guess we can't clip it on here.
No,
but
we can't because it's
that's
not my
funny.
child.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, it was
That's
so
so
funny.
You'll have to show me.
I will. I'll show you.
That's so funny. No, I also want to be a singer still to this day.
Yeah,
And
okay.
Aaron's
I've heard
aunt
you
was
sing.
over here. Oh no, it's so bad. My singing is so terrible that my dad used to say, if I can't listen quietly, we'll turn the radio off. And like I asked Aaron, my
Good old
husband, the
Dean.
other day if like he also thought my singing was bad, and he goes, well, it's not bad.
Oh, that was nice.
It was very sweet.
Bree is known for her performances. She does lots of what's the word?
I don't know.
Interpretive dance, if you will. growing up, she maybe we'll have her perform one time.
Maybe, just maybe. Yeah, just maybe.
Ask anyone who knows her.
Oh no. So Erin's aunt is I don't know what the right word for it is, but like vocal coach, I guess. Like
okay.
singing teacher. Like,
Okay.
Yeah. So anyways,
The one that did your wedding?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She's got a great voice. She sang at our wedding, like Erin said. So she has a performance today. For what's it called, like a recital, like Christmas recital.
Yeah.
But a few of her students had like dropped out because they're not feeling well. Pneumonia is going around, terrible time. So she had mentioned that she is going to get up and sing in place of those kids. Now it's becoming her own concert. And she's feeling bad because there was only so many kids to begin with. Anyway, so she had mentioned when she was here the other day, and Erin claims she was joking that I should sing, and I thought she just saw my potential. And I'm not joking. Like, maybe I'm just so naive. When she said that, like, I lit up inside because I secretly wish I was a singer. And so I was like so beaming, like, oh my gosh, maybe I should start practicing.
So are you getting up there?
Maybe she wants to teach me. Like, she can totally see my potential. Like, she would know, right?
Has she
would
heard
know.
you sing?
Of course not.
Or do you just
But,
think that like she
sometimes
heard
when you
your
see
talking
someone,
voice and
you just
was
see the
like,
star power. You know what I mean?
yeah, I guess you have that in you.
But whenever I get up to do karaoke, it never sounds the way it does in my shower for some reason.
Weird.
I get up there, and as soon as I'm belting it out, I'm like, gosh, that is terrible.
Have you ever done the thing where you record yourself on your phone and then listen back?
No, but I've listened back to this.
Oh my gosh,
It's not great.
No, I know.
Sorry,
so I hear my
everyone.
own voice and I'm like, you need to work on
So-
that. Is that
so
something
bad.
that's changeable at 32?
Okay, wait, there's also this game where it's like, I don't know, it's kind of like a SingStar game we have it on our Switch, Nintendo Switch. And to get into the game, it's basically like Dance Dance Revolution, but for singing. And so you have to like match you have to sing all the right notes. To get into the game, you have to sing a note. And when I tell you with our
That
girls'
sounds
night
hard.
a few months back or a year back, whenever it was, we couldn't get in the game. We could
You couldn't
never
even
play.
get in. Oh, I love that.
We were just
I
like,
love that.
over and over again trying to hit the note. It was terrible.
So Brie and I used to, and I'd like to preface by saying this is not when we were like 12. This is when we were about like 18, 19, you know.
I never know where
going
you're
out
going with these
and like
stories.
hanging out at bars and stuff. Also, on the other hand, we were hanging out in my basement and practicing dance choreography to show
As
my
you
mom
do.
when she got home from work.
Yes, as you do.
And as you do at 18.
You know what? I feel like I've been caged. You know what I mean? Like my potential as a superstar
Sure.
has been caged
No,
in your
self-aware and my voice sucks.
Oh,
so
no. The thing is, I know it's so bad, but like I just wish.
I do belt it out though. I will belt
wish.
it out.
I love to sing. And like Emerson,
You and Emmy are going to be singers. You know what?
unfortunately,
A duet.
Maybe we'll just stick to being veterinarians.
All right. Well, what about I was thinking about like things like that, little tips that we can do to prioritize as parents are like mental health in the new year.
Oh, that's a good one.
You know, that's a thing that I think we all struggle with.
Yeah.
Even like the littlest thing that you can do to like boost your energy or boost your
got it.
mind. Okay.
Okay,
Give it
two
to me.
things I think are super important, and again, easier said than done when you're in the moment. But number one, getting outside.
I
is
was thinking the
so
same
important.
thing.
The sunshine vitamin D is like so important for us to be, functioning fully. Everyone, I think, is slightly deficient. So if you can't get out in that sunshine and it's just too much, supplementing vitamin D.
Yeah, you just
not
reminded
a doctor.
me. You just reminded me. I forgot to take my vitamins this morning.
Check with your doctor first. But I think that's super important to be thriving as a human. So that's number one. But getting outside, and then hand in hand with that is movement, I think.
Yes.
So going on a daily walk, again, not always easy, but if you can baby wear or push a stroller,
Which
and your
is so
kids
easy
put
to
up with
do
it.
like in the warmer months because we all love
100%.
being out there.
So this is
and I
like
think it's you have to push
Canada-based.
yourself. Yes.
Like,
I think you have to push
yeah.
yourself in those cold months too. Because I will
100%.
say I have to walk Emerson to school every morning and some mornings I'm like not feeling it.
Yeah.
And those days when I do it, I actually feel, and it is a quick walk. Like I'm home like maybe half an hour there and back. Right. So, but I feel so much better
It's so
after that
important.
walk.
First of all, you're out in that cold, fresh air, which is really good for you. You're getting that sunshine, that the breeze, all of that. All of
Yeah.
that is so good for you to be outside, even if it is just that 30 minutes. Think about how good it is for your girls too.
Right.
And then you've moved.
Right.
So like all of that is going to like be so invigorating for you. It's so important.
Right.
But
So like, and it's hard to do, but like, you're right.
It's hard to
Baby
do.
wear, stick
Baby
them in a
wear.
wagon, stick them in a stroller,
just move.
put on a podcast, specifically this one.
yeah.
And
It is
be
vital.
on your way.
And I like, so Kaylee, my sister-in-law, is a midwife, and she always says that for pregnancy as well is like the best thing you can do in your pregnancy is move 30 minutes a day. In my master's, one of the things we did research for cancer, exercise and cancer research. So a lot that we looked at as well was like how much exercise impacts, cancer.
Right.
And
how it affects like the treatment of it, or how it affects like preventing it.
both.
Okay,
Both,
okay.
yeah.
Just
Across
all
the board,
around,
all
all around.
all
Yeah, okay.
around, and even just not cancer related, all around.
Just your health in general.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
lifestyle. 30 minutes,
And
of
we
movement.
all know that. We
Yeah.
all know that. Like we
Yeah.
do. We know how much like how good it is for you, but you really need to really try.
Absolutely. But I also think it's important to know it doesn't have to be hard.
No.
You don't have to sweat. You don't have to be out
No,
of breath. And
absolutely.
you don't have to do it all at once. You could do 10 minutes here, 5 minutes there, 10 minutes again. Like
That's a great little tidbit to
Yeah.
not do it all. Like
if you can just get 5
you
minutes.
may not like people are like, I don't have half an hour to spend on
Sometimes
myself.
you
You don't
don't.
need to do that.
No.
Like, I typically for myself, I'll go down in the mornings, and I don't do this every day. But about 4 days a week, I'll go down and I'll do a 20 to half an hour minute
Yeah.
exercise
It's
in my
important.
basement with my girls, because usually they're awake already.
Yeah.
Because I know for myself, if I don't work out first thing in the morning, I will not work out later.
No, I'm the same
Like,
way.
and I know that. And then on the other days, I go on a little walk, take my dog, whether taking my dog or walking my daughter to school.
Yeah.
So, but that is a good point. Like, it doesn't have to be all at once
or difficult. Like it. So another way to make sure you're getting that movement in is a step count. So setting a goal
Yeah.
for yourself and like increasing it over the months if you can.
And that can be kind of fun too.
It's totally fun.
Yeah.
So just say 10,000. That's kind of across the board, like a good lofty goal that everyone should be trying to hit. Not everyone can. I know that. So if right now you're only aiming 2 or 3, aim for 4 or 5.
So funny story. When I first got my Apple Watch, I was like really obsessed with my step count.
Yeah.
And I remember some days I wouldn't hit it, and I would just walk circles around
That's what
my
I was
house
gonna say.
trying to hit my step count just for fun.
Absolutely. So like postpartum now, like what am I, 3.5 months? That's what I've been prioritizing is getting my steps in. And sometimes that's all I can do.
Yeah.
I just walk around my island 100 times
Yeah.
until I get my steps in. Funny enough, there's this cool app that I think could be a good resolution for a lot of people. It's called Step Bet. Have I told you
Step
about
Bet?
it?
No.
So it's gambling, I think. I don't know if they consider it gambling, but it's kind of gambling. You buy into a game or a challenge. So just say the Mama Bear Challenge. Maybe we'll host one in the new year.
Okay, I'm going to learn about it, and then yeah.
So you would go in. We can include a link. We're going to do this now.
Okay.
We'll include a link, and the goal is set off of your already existing steps. So just
Okay.
say you, Erin, are only getting 2,000 steps a day.
Oh, I'm not moving very much.
Your goal then would be like 3,000.
Okay.
Whereas if I get 10,000, my goal would be like 11,000.
Okay,
Something like
okay.
that. I don't know exactly
Like
how
just to
they
amp it up like just slightly.
yeah,
Okay.
I don't know exactly how they calculate it, but they
Okay.
explain it within the app. And what we do is they have you do the challenges I've done in the past, which what we'd probably do is you do 4 active days a week, which is
Okay.
like, again, right around your normal goal, 10, 11,000. And then 1 power day a week, which is like,
okay.
I don't know, 15,000, like one
You're amping
tough
it up.
day.
Yeah, okay.
And then you get a rest day.
Okay.
So as long as
And what is the betting aspect?
so you pay into it.
Okay, you pay,
So
okay.
just say it costs $10, $20, whatever it is
Yeah.
to play.
Okay.
As long as you hit your goal, which is everyone's goal will be different. As long as you hit your goal for the duration of the challenge, which is approximately a month, then you don't lose any money.
Oh, you get that money.
Yes, you're not out the money. You get that money back.
You've broken
and
even.
then whatever else you've won off people missing their challenge. So just say
Oh,
we
so
play.
you're up against other people.
Yes.
like-
So just say we have Aaron, my husband, is also in the challenge. Just say he on week 3, misses his power day, he's out.
Okay, this is fun.
And so now his $40 or $20, whatever it is divvied up amongst everyone else who's left.
Okay, I'm confused why you've never invited me this before, but
I
okay,
know,
sure.
it's great.
Yeah.
It is the best. So postpartum, I found another postpartum group of women who are going through the same thing I am.
Yeah.
And everyone each day is in there like, made my steps again today. And like, I'm watching that little green ring. I'm like, dang it, keep walking around the kitchen. So yeah, so essentially as long as you hit your goals, your step count for the 4 weeks, you make your money back.
Amazing.
And then you make whatever else, hoping other people fail.
That's great. That's a great hoping other people fail. Yes. Okay. Well, let's cheer for each other. But that is really cool. Yeah,
no,
I've never heard of that. Yeah,
so that's an easy way to like be
and
motivated.
all it is steps.
That's
like
all
you
it
just
is
got to get
steps.
your steps. You
And
don't
then-
be able to be out running. You got to be lifting weights.
Right. And I don't know if anyone else is like me, but like I said, I'm very coachable. So if I ever pay into a program, I will do it.
Yeah.
Like if I pay for a coach, I will go to all my workouts.
Yes.
If I pay for a membership, I will make the most of it. So it's kind of like the step at, it's like a 4-week commitment. You've paid for it. You're going to hit your steps for
Yes.
those 4 weeks.
Well, I think with financial incentive, people are more than likely
100%.
to follow their.
Yeah, you have to
those
have
things
something
through.
invested, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a great one.
Yeah.
So go outside and get
outside.
active. Those are like some great
Absolutely.
ways to keep your mental health and
small enough, bite-sized things that you can do.
I think another one is we all need to work on, maybe not all of us, but personally myself, I know, is like delegating.
Oh, you
And
mean
like that
sharing
mental
the
load,
mental
like sharing the
Yeah.
mental load and like
Yeah.
those types of tasks and just communicating that better with people around you.
Or
like
maybe our husbands could just be better at reading our minds.
yeah, I mean that would be great too.
Just be better at
Maybe
doing
one
it.
day that will be a thing, but
But
as of
for
right now,
open communication, being better at like knowing you don't have to like harbor the whole load.
and also knowing that
you
it's
can share it.
okay to want to share the load.
Yeah.
Like I think that sometimes we think that it's important that we do everything because people will like kind of, look down on you
Like
or
you
or
couldn't
think
do it
something
or
of you
whatever,
if
yeah.
you don't do everything
Yeah.
all the time.
I'm definitely in that spot right now.
Right.
Like I'm not one, I can't ask for help.
And I'm in the same way.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. Like I say these things like we need to do these. And when I say them, I'm talking about like to myself.
Yeah, I think I could be a lot better. Like when Everest was sick, Aaron had just had that surgery we talked about. And I
yeah.
was by myself in the trenches, a sick baby, sick husband. No one's eating. Like
Yeah.
no one's doing well.
Right.
And finally Aaron, my husband, just said, I'm texting your mom. And like he had said over a few days, like, let's ask for help. And I just kind of was
Girl,
like,
you should have texted me. I could have
didn't
been
say
here.
no, but I didn't say yes. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like I was in the back of my head, like, yeah, can you do it? Because I can't bring myself to actually send the message like, I need help. Can you
I
come
need
out
help.
here?
It's hard. It's really, I don't know why as humans, like it's so hard for us
I
to
don't know
like
if it's
admit
as
that we
humans
need
or if it's
help.
as mothers. Like I
Or
do
as
think,
mothers, yeah.
Like I think
to admit I need help.
Yeah, because
I'm struggling.
It's that's your job. Like your
Right.
job is to take care of that kid, and to not be able to do it sometimes is
And
hard.
it's like sometimes it's not even like you want help with your kid specifically. You want help with like maintaining a household.
no, that is what I want.
So
help
like
with.
you want someone to
Yeah.
come. You want to stay. You want to.
I
you
want to
wanna
take care of my son,
your sick baby.
but my house is falling apart.
Your house is falling apart. Your life is falling
Yes.
apart. You need someone to come and help with those things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And like we talked last episode, when our houses aren't in order, for some people that's stressful. So when my laundry is falling apart, when my counters aren't clean, like that now makes me feel worse.
Yeah.
So,
And it
yeah.
is hard. Like I know, like I feel very lucky for the amount of support that I
You
have.
have a big village.
I have a
yes.
very big village, so I feel very, very lucky
Yeah.
for that. And I know some people don't
Yeah.
have that. And I do feel very like I'm sympathetic towards that. But even like the smallest thing, you're like asking your partner, like
Right.
saying, "Hey, I need you to do the laundry this
Yeah.
week. Like I know I typically do it, but this week I need you to do
I
it
need you to
because
take this
I'm
for me."
struggling."
Yeah.
Is important.
Yeah. No, I think those are all good tips. And I think small enough to do, all still challenging, but all small enough that
I
it's
think
not
that's the goal.
small
Small
bite-sized
goals.
pieces. And each of those
Yeah.
things you don't have to get it right up to 30 minutes of movement
No.
right away. Just a little bit here, a little bit there. And then when you look back after the year,
And it will, I guarantee you, help with your mental health.
100%.
Like it will. It just will.
and consistency is key with these things.
Yes, it really is. But you mentioned Aaron's surgery, and I think maybe we should update on that. Do you feel like updating on that, or should we have Aaron on to update on it?
Why don't we have Aaron on? Why don't we have Aaron on?
Okay.
So out in that next episode, we'll sit down with Aaron and we'll chat with him about surgery. There's a
Okay.
lot to learn there. Like
Yeah.
I think the more I've learned about it, the more I think other people might be having the same issue. So
Potentially,
if you're
yeah.
interested in or if you've ever had your wisdom teeth removed or ever had any metal fillings in your
Yeah.
mouth, then this could affect you. So why don't you tune into the next episode? We'll interview Erin. How's that sound?
That sounds great. Yeah,
Okay.
that's a great place to get the information right from the source.
Awesome. So thanks for joining us for another
Yeah,
or
this has been
third
so fun.
podcast of Mama Bear.
I'd just like to say we're
And-
having so much fun doing this,
This is awesome.
and we hope that you enjoy listening too.
Yeah, and as always, please comment or message us if you relate to anything we're talking about, or if you have any questions.
Have
or-
something you want us to talk about,
Yeah.
anything like that, or any like guests you want us to have on.
100%. Like,
Yeah.
we're totally open to hearing all that.
We're
so-
growing with you. We're growing together.
Absolutely. But Happy New Year, everyone.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
We can't wait to see you again.
Yeah.
Rise and
Bye.
shine With a coffee cup and a heart so kind, sharing stories from near and far, guiding you like a mama bear. Oh, mama bear, I'm here to stay, with wisdom and warmth, let's light the way. Together we'll laugh, together we'll share. In this cozy space, it's love and care.